I've been such a big fan of Colin's since his SNL days, and like seeing how multi-talented he is, I just couldn't wait to see what he's going to do with his one-man show. I hear he's absolutely fantastic in this one, so I can't wait.
I just think it's a great opening, and all the comedians are here, and it's so exciting to see all these people.
It's funny, and it's 75 minutes. And I know when I go to the theater, my first thought is, when am I getting out of here? And we are offering to get you out in 75 minutes. Get to dinner, get home, whatever you want.
It's New York. If you're going to put a guy on Broadway, it's Colin Quinn. He is a New York guy. He has a New York attitude. It's just perfect.
I'm looking forward to Colin. He's hilarious. I love hearing his material, and I'm curious to see the dramatic arc of what he's doing. It sounds fascinating.
I was actually in the diner when I asked Colin, "Are you doing your play?" And he said yes. And Jerry said, "And I'm going to direct it." It literally happened at the Brooklyn Diner. And I did believe it. They were both really sincere. We walked out of there like, I think you're directing. And that was it.
You can expect a great time, you can expect to learn something, and you can expect to laugh for 75 minutes straight, which never happens.
Well, the show is just about how each empire throughout history made a mistake by continuing to do what they kept doing even if it stopped working. And I feel like the same way. Our empire is doing the same thing. And it's also about how people do that too.
This was a good way to laugh at just everybody, every walk, every way, and yet doing it in a correct way, which is, we're just all really funny. I mean, people are funny. Throw us all together in New York City, and here we are.
I thought it was really great. You know, he seemed comfortable from the minute he came out, which as an audience member is always a great feeling. And it was funny, and everybody wants to laugh now. And I learned several things. You know, I learned where countries are.
I mean, I've seen Colin's material sometimes, so I knew how bright he is. But I had no idea what this show was, and I just thought it was a seamless, free-flowing, very intense hour and a half. It's great.
I told him he should do a one-man show, and he said, I've come up with a one-man show, and I couldn't believe that he listened to me. So that's what sold me, that I gave a friend some advice, and they took it.
It actually feels amazing. Like last time, it was kind of quick. You know what I mean? So this time I feel like I'm really relaxed into it. I'm really appreciating everything about the Helen Hayes. Just that theater itself is so beautiful and old. It's got a good vibe. The show's got a good vibe. You know what I mean?
It was a giant thrill. A giant thrill. It's the last thing I thought I would ever see on my resume as Broadway director.
This director, really, I have to say, he stepped up. He started directing. Like, I figured he'd be the director, like, in name only and kind of do a little directing. He loves it. He was in it every day. We worked all the time. It was crazy.
The most difficult thing is that you're jumping around in time and around the globe. So it could get confusing. But we figured out a way that it wouldn't be.
It's very dense. It's filled with amazing thoughts and jokes. I like his attacks of the British for some reason. I particularly enjoyed.
The way he plays the British Empire is this slightly gay fashion queen, you know, who's obsessed with power and having sex with France.
And you know what's great about Colin is that he has a unique perspective on so many things, and that's why people go to comedians, is that all comedians have different perspectives. And his is very specific and very, very funny.
The British Empire at its peak controlled 1/4 of the land mass and population in the world. This, by the way, is a little country. So they didn't do it with military might. They had something far more powerful: contempt. They tapped into people's insecurities and their low self-esteem. They would show up
with polished swords, pressed uniforms. Really? This is where you live? People would be like, clean up, the British are coming.